I am Sharon Tinberg with Rags to Riches, and I have the website successmadeeasy.com. I've been covering goal setting for the month of January. It is the last week of January, so I of course have to ask you, how are you doing on your repeat client goal count? Goal versus actual. If you're on it or have surpassed it, then you probably do not need any of my out-of-the-box ideas to improve your close ratio. But if you need some help, here's how I hit my 754 repeat clients 15 years ago, and how a lot of companies have raised their close ratio for repeat clients to 92%. The two things we do: we ask for the repeat sale almost as soon as we answer the phone, and we do not charge a first time in for repeat clients if they are weekly or bi-weekly. So let me first explain what I mean by asking for the sale at the beginning of the call. One of the very first questions we ask, even before square footage, is if they are interested in repeat or one-time service. If they say repeat in any way, like, yes, if I'm happy, I might go repeat, we go directly to a repeat sales script. We do not sell them one time and then call them back after that cleaning to see if they are happy and then try and book them repeat, as many companies do. We book them repeat right from the start. After we got done telling them about all the wonderful features of our repeat service, like automatically including one free additional task with each visit if you're weekly or bi-weekly, this includes things like wet wiping your baseboards. We do tell them this is a very large task and will take 2 visits to complete. The other tasks we would cycle through were damp wiping door panels and frames, wet wiping the windowsills, damp wiping the outside of the kitchen cabinets, the next cycle the bathroom cabinets, vacuuming one room of upholstered furniture, and spot cleaning the inside of the refrigerator. That was a big seller. But remember, I said spot cleaning. It was free. We did not take everything out, clean it, and put everything back. We moved it aside and got out the big clumps of ketchup and that white stuff at the bottom of the gallon milk carton. Where does that come from? This added feature is huge in any company who's using it. It does 2 things for your company. It differentiates you from your competitor, who will ask about $30 to $50 for each one of those tasks in 6 months when your client asks to have them done. And it also ensures that the repeat client's home, your repeat client's home, is just as clean in 6 months as it was after their initial deep clean. That is the reason, after all, that your client is paying for repeat service. They expect that home to look as good in 6 months as it did the day they did their initial deep clean. My client attrition rate was very low because our houses were very clean. We never sold an initial deep clean back in my day, partly because it wasn't as easy to sell cleaning services back in my day as it is today. If I were selling today, and most of my clients do this, I would always go for that initial deep clean and then start periodic tests a second visit in. They'd be so simple. And you'd get all of that additional revenue. So what my clients do today is they do not talk about that initial deep clean until the very end of the sales script. It's the last thing they talk about, by saying, and we start you out with. At the end, they give them a price and ask them which day in the future would be the best for them. If the client does not buy because they say it's too expensive, or if the client just doesn't buy and doesn't give them any reason why, we'll ask them, is it too expensive? If they say yes, then we would ask them again, do you mean for the first initial cleaning or the repeat cleanings? If it's the repeat cleanings, we're not going to do anything about it. But if their answer is the first visit, Then our script read like this. I could waive the deep cleaning at the first visit and start with the repeat cost. Then I would start your repeat extra task at your second visit. What this means to you is that it will take 7 visits to get your home in deep cleaning condition. But because we include an extra task at each visit, you actually will get your home deep cleaned in 7 visits without incurring any additional costs up front. But I have to ask you to remember that we will only dust your baseboards the first time in. So if they're really dirty, you might either want to pay for those baseboards to be wet wiped, or remember that they won't be spotless when we leave until the time when wet wiping baseboards comes up in your cycle. Perhaps that would fit your budget better. And we still have those openings next Tuesday and Wednesday. Would one of those work for you if we changed your plan? And of course, shut up. Because you are not doing any deep cleaning tasks the first time in, you really won't lose any money the first time in. I usually made money. Won't make a lot of money. But you have guaranteed yourself a repeat client who'll bring you $4,000. Granted, you've given up maybe the extra $120 bottom line money you might make in that deep clean after expenses and payroll and all of that. I consider that my cost of advertising. Again, if you can get both, by all means, get both. But if you can't, why wouldn't you go for every sale if it's a repeat client? Of course, what is important is that you keep this repeat client. What you say you are going to clean needs to be cleaned and cleaned every time you clean this repeat client home. You cannot skip cleaning things just because you clean them regularly. I submit to you, if you skip cleaning things in this customer's home on a regular basis, you will not be cleaning this client for very long. And that is what I intend to discuss in my next session. Why do we lose so many repeat clients? If you are interested in the inbound repeat client script, which I just reviewed segments of, please visit my website at www.successmadeeasy.com, search inbound sales, and when you see the segment inbound sales, accurate pricing, quoting, and selling on the phone, click read more. You'll make your sales numbers using this repeat sales approach, I guarantee you. But what is critical is that you keep these clients. Do you remember our second session discussing the budget calculator and prorating the value of repeat sales made later in the year? If you make 5 sales per month, 1 weekly, 2 every other week, and 2 monthly, easy to do really, you will have $92,000 at the conclusion of this year. Sell nothing if you sell absolutely nothing next year, but keep those 60 repeat clients. You will have a gross revenue of $160,000 at the end of next year. Go figure, do nothing but keep what you have and you almost double your revenue. Which is why I often say, is 20% growth really the benchmark you're going after? If you only keep these clients for a few months, however, you will not see 100% growth because you are constantly replacing and only getting a few months of billing. You will go back to charging a large fee, I guarantee you, if you don't keep these clients, because you're not making enough money on just a repeat client base. You need that initial big time in money. And once in a while you have to give that up in order to make your repeat client go. But if you're not keeping your repeat client, you need that money. And I recommend you take that money. And don't worry about the repeat client base because you're not going to keep them anyway. Or the alternative is figure out why you are losing your repeat clients. And there are a lot of reasons other than poor quality of the cleaning. I will cover some of these reasons, as I said, in my next session. Until then, don't forget to ask for the repeat sale.